So I accidentally deleted my entire video, so I have to redo it. When it comes to being a new content creator, I found that there is a lot of struggles. You can feel like you can't get your voice out there. You can feel like you can't actually do what you actually want to do. You can't show up authentically. You feel like a lot of ups and downs with actually going after what you want. It can feel like a whole mess and a half. And I wanted to talk about that because I fell into a lot of these traps and I'm actively saying no and turning it around. And I'm feeling this way as well, especially as a new YouTuber, as somebody who's just new to content creation, video-based content creation. I wasn't necessarily the type of YouTuber who was very good with cameras when they were young. So this has been an entirely new experience and I'm turning a new chapter, okay? I'm turning away from the struggle chapter. I no longer relate to that. We're going to this new chapter and I just wanted to sit back and reflect about all the troubles that I went through as a new YouTuber. So I want to talk about the struggles of content creators and how I got over it, including not feeling authentic, feeling like you're a robot when you press record and all that kind of stuff, and where I'm going from here. The first thing that I noticed about content creation was the difficulty of being myself and bringing your full authentic self on camera. I know this because when I first started my content creation journey, I was on TikTok, I was on YouTube. And I remember when I would turn on the camera, I would automatically assume like a anchor, like a news anchor. Like I wouldn't feel myself, my voice would go higher, my voice would go lower. I wasn't myself and I couldn't really talk about the things that I wanted to talk about. It would kind of get like stuck in my throat. And I was like, I'm trying. And with my YouTube videos, all my previous ones, every single one of my previous YouTube videos, what I would do is I would write a script because my primary mode or my first mode of creativity was writing and I was good at writing. So what I would do is I would write the entire thing that I wanted to say down first and then I would read from that on the camera. But I noticed this and I didn't know how to fix it. But what I noticed is that I was sounding robotic. So that I would do the script for the first half of the video and then for the second half, I would just free flow, kind of, which was fine and helped me get to this point where I have no notes at all right now. The thing that I did though, even though I didn't know how to fix it, was keep on showing up basically. So I did that. And also I allowed myself to be imperfect, and allowing yourself to grow is also one thing that I did that helped me get to where I am right now. And I still want to make a lot more improvement. The second pain point a lot of content creators have, including myself, is the lie that you can't do what you actually want to do. Because if you are ambitious, if you want to be successful, if you have high goals, and if you have high aspirations, like I do, if you want to have a certain amount of success, then you can't do certain things. You can't talk about certain things. You can't write about certain things. And this is not just for video-based content creation. It's about blogs. It's about writing. It's about articles. It's about content creation like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. What they usually say is that you can't talk about yourself because nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you going to the grocery store. Nobody cares about you liking turtles. Nobody cares about you doing this and that or the third. Nobody cares about you unless you are giving them something. And when they say giving them something, they mean value. And when they mean value, they mean a distorted meaning of value. They're giving a very rigid definition of what value is. If you're ambitious, if you want to be successful and you want to get somewhere and you have very high aspirations for yourself, but what those marketing people fail to realize is that that value is not rigid. You showing up and being yourself and talking about exactly what you want to talk about and just showing up as you are is value to somebody. You being funny and entertaining and want to say a funny story time, you going to the grocery store, being yourself, talking about what you're buying and being present with people, that can be comforting and that is value. So a lot of these marketing people can make you feel like, oh, if I'm not telling people a step-by-step guide to do something, if I'm not making a how to do something, or if I'm not, giving somebody information and data, then I am not being valuable. Therefore, I'm not going to be successful, which is a lie. And another thing that we have to realize as content creators and people in general is that when people are telling us what the limits are, they're talking about their limits. They're talking about what they can't do. They're not talking about what we can't do, because we could be operating an entirely different reality, to be honest. Another thing that a lot of content creators have a problem being is also kind of related, or not really kind of related, but kind of similar to value, is that niche. You need to have a niche. You need to talk about one thing. You can if you want to, but if you're an expansive person and you have a lot of things that you want to talk about, you can be the niche. Yes, I like a lot of the things that I have been doing on this channel. I love traveling, I love that, but I also like business. I also am really into finance. I have a lot of different things that I like. And I want to talk about all those things that I like. And a lot of people be like, "Oh my God, but you're all over the place." No, I'm not all over the place because I am the common denominator as a content creator. When I'm talking about this, I'm talking from my authentic self. When I'm talking about that, I'm talking about my authentic self. My vibe is the same. I'm being authentic. That is continuity. And that's one thing that I wanted to mention. A lot of us feel like, oh my God, but I can't talk about that. Why can't you? So these things were the main things that I was struggling with when I first became a YouTuber, when I first started doing video-based content creation, because I wanted to be myself. I want to do things I want to talk about. And I feel like there's a lot of noise out there about what you should and shouldn't be doing as a content creator that can kind of plague you from being authentic and really showing up as yourself. Because at the end of the day, I feel like that is the main thing that helps you be good at what you do, is actually tuning into what you want. So my main goal for this channel is to continue that authenticity. My main goal is to get better at speaking and not need notes. I don't have an iPad in my hands like I usually do. I didn't write a script for this. This is all from my heart, which is everything I ever wanted. Not everything I ever wanted. One of the things that I wanted. Yes, and that's what I have to say for today. So yes, this was Little Mint Bayinnah. If you really enjoy this content and you want to be along for the ride of me completely flipping this entire channel upside down, okay, maybe not actually upside down, but you get what I'm trying to say, then I would highly suggest you subscribe. If you like the inspirational encouragement stuff and you really, really enjoy this content, then I would suggest the And We Continued newsletter. That is where I pour a lot of my inspirational energy into, a lot of my motivational energy, a lot of my encouragement, self-development, everything and anything usually goes inside of the And We Continued newsletter, which is my newsletter, which has all those messaging. We have chat, we have a community. It's really good over there. And if you want to listen to something, because like I said, I'm a business nerd, I'm a finance nerd, I want to be financially free. I love talking about money. I love talking about money mindsets and everything like that. Maybe I'll bring a little bit of that energy to this channel. I'm not sure how yet, to be honest. But if it comes up, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to lie. So if you want to listen to that, if you love that energy, and I am talking from a faith-based point of view, you can listen to Muslim Women Love Funds. Everything will be in the YouTube description below. And also, if you want a little support on your journey, I just wrote a book called The Letters Through the In-Between, which is letters guiding you and encouraging you. I have a lot of that energy and I poured a lot of that also into that book as well. So for this video, it was nerve-wracking to record. It was nerve-wracking to start, especially because there was a long break between this video and the last video that I did. I am so proud to have done this and to go on the direction that we're going into, because I deserve to show up and it's fun to show up. Consistency and discipline is key, and sometimes courage and doing something is a decision, not a feeling. So anyway, thank you again. This was Little Mint Bayinnah. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video.